Welcome back. This video is about love. More specifically, the idea that it's better to be liked than to be loved. Now, I know that sounds a bit counterintuitive, but I think it'll make sense to you when you watch this video till the end and hear my thoughts on the difference between the two. And where these thoughts came from, nearly 20 years ago, when I was working with my counselor, and we started talking about, dating again, and what kind of woman I was attracted to, what kind of woman I wanted. And so he gave me a homework assignment. I want you to come back and, give me an idea, because in my childhood, I was never allowed to decide. That was part of my problem. That's why I ended up with my first wife. I actually didn't know I could choose who I could be with. So it was something I had to learn, that I actually have a choice in who I date or marry. And that's why the homework assignment. Well, when I came back and started listing all these things I wanted, or desired, however you want to say it, he listened to it and he kind of paused at the end and he goes, I'm curious about something. I hear a lot of great things about she's pretty and she's nice and she does these things and, that's great, but what about a woman who likes you? The concept of being liked had never entered my mind. And it really created this huge shift and made me re-examine being liked versus being loved. And I created this for you because this explains kind of the thoughts that were born out of it. Now, if you think about love and what we've all been taught, these would be the things on the list of, I need someone who's loving, kind, caring, compassionate. What else do I have here? Smart, athletic, adventurous, powerful, wealthy, possessions would matter, eyes, hair, and body. But we'd also want to make sure that they're not lazy or boring or annoying. Maybe we don't want someone who's been divorced or has an addiction or insecure. Their status, can't have bad status or a poor career, or maybe they're too old or too young, or they have kids. Oh my God, their politics, religion, and hobbies. See, this half is the perfection, right? This is the imperfection. And so what I noticed is that when we pursue love, it gets split. That we're all about the perfection and all about shaming or denying the imperfection. And so love now has this meaning that I'll love you in spite of how horrible you are. I'll just put up with you. And love also has to mostly reside up here. It has to have this magical feeling. And third, it's held to this standard of perfection. If you really loved me, you'd never do or be any of these things. You're only this, right? There's this really perfectionist attitude around love. And, for me to love you, you need to be mostly these. You need to be something perfect and really great. You have to, like I see that on posts all the time. You got to earn me. No man, no woman's going to get near me unless they earn me. And it's this very falsely empowered one-up. The concept is, I think they're trying to communicate, I value myself, but it's really an insecurity and a power dynamic of you're less than me until you prove it to me, right? And that leads me to number 5. What happens then is our imperfections are hidden. They can't be shared or known. For us to seek out love, everything has to be perfect. None of the imperfections. Well, let me know how love works out for you. I know for me it hadn't worked out twice chasing this. And so part of the reason I've been single for so long is I want someone who likes me. And I hope you do too, because let's look at what happens when somebody likes us. Think of your best friend. They know about the divorce, the addiction, and how insecure you are and filled with shame. They know your poor status, your poor career, and that you're saggy and old or too young and immature, and that you have kids from one or two different marriages or relationships. They know about your terrible politics and religion and all your stupid little hobbies. And they've seen you when you've been lazy and boring and annoying. And you know what? They like you. They just like you. Isn't that amazing? That's what our friends do. Our friends accept our perfect imperfections. When we love, very few, yes, everyone says, oh, that's what love is. But who lives that? Most people live their love through liking somebody else. They give them this grace. They give them this understanding. They just like them. And so they don't put so much weight in perfection. They may have a husband or wife that's doing some of these things, and they're screaming at their best friend about how awful it is, yet their best friend has the exact same problems. And they're forgiving of their best friend. That's what love does to us. That's what it's become, unfortunately. So when we like somebody, it encompasses the whole, the perfect imperfections. Number 2, when we like somebody, it's very, very quiet. Remember, love demands intensity, this supercharged feeling. And if it's not there, why do most couples break up? Well, yeah, the feeling's gone, empty. Right? It's not, we can't handle that it's quiet. It needs this intensity to it. Yet when we like somebody, we're perfectly comfortable with the quiet. It's actually what we enjoy about them. We can be quiet with them and still enjoy their presence. Right? It doesn't require any performance or perfection. Number 3, it's accepting. It's forgiving. It doesn't have demands. We give so much more grace to those people that we like than to those that we love. Much less demands. And finally, when someone likes us, what do? They accept our perfect imperfections. Well, can you see why I want to be liked much more than loved? It's a much safer, more complete, honest, vulnerable, transparent, dynamic than to be loved. So think it over. Let me know what your thoughts are. Maybe you completely disagree. Like I said, I know we're all taught that that's what love is. I've just, in my experience, at least it's my experience, doesn't mean it's right. I haven't seen love act like. And so leave me your comments. Let me know what your experience has been. If you know somebody that's caught between like and love, share it with them. Maybe this will help them. And finally, as I always say, just enjoy the journey, whichever side you believe, the like or love. Enjoy where you are. Like yourself for where you are in your journey.